Welcome to my personal message to stakeholders, the Centre for International Finance and Regulation, better known colloquially as CIFR. My objective today is to update you on how CIFR has developed since inception, what our achievements and contributions to public policy have been to date, and where CIFR is heading for the remainder of our funding term, as well as opportunities for a CIFR-like operation beyond the current funding term. CIFR was established as a Centre of Excellence in late 2011. UNSW's successful bid was led by then Vice-Chancellor Professor Fred Hilmer at UNSW. The Centre was primarily funded by the Commonwealth and New South Wales governments and was also backed by a consortium of 6 major Australian universities, 2 research centres and 4 industry partners from the banking, law and professional services sectors. CIFR was set up with an interim CEO, John Trowbridge, and a very high-powered governing board chaired by Peter Mason and comprising the Commonwealth Treasury Secretary, the Chairman of the Australian Prudential Regulation Authority, University Vice-Chancellors from UNSW, UTS and Macquarie, and senior business executives including Steve Harker, CEO and Managing Director of Morgan Stanley, and Dr. Alden Toves, Chief Risk Officer at the Commonwealth Bank. CIFR has benefited enormously from having such a strong board. The board's strong governance and links with government, industry and academia have strengthened CIFR's position and overall effectiveness. Our mission has been to provide a strategic link between academia, policymakers, financial regulators and other industry participants. We do this by engaging with industry participants, undertaking targeted research, delivering highly relevant educational events and providing valuable inputs to policymakers and regulators. In partnership with our university academics in finance, economics, accounting, actuarial studies and law, we seek to produce world-class, cutting-edge, policy-relevant work that is international in its scope and contributes to the development of Australia's financial and regulatory architecture. CIFR and its consortium members have to date provided almost $22 million in cash and in-kind funding to 70 research projects. We have a large pipeline of research outputs scheduled for delivery through to the end of December 2016. Since my appointment as CEO, we've reorientated the research motivation from being supply-driven, in other words, where the researcher identified the topic, to demand-driven. This demand-driven model, or targeted research approach, ensures that financial policymakers and regulators have the opportunity to identify policy and regulatory areas that could benefit from rigorous academic analysis of underlying issues. We've also enhanced the process of developing research proposals and budgets by increasing the level of relevance and accountability required. Our focus is increasingly needed to demonstrate value for money from public funding, and our governing board has always aspired to ensure CIFR and its researchers exhibit high levels of accountability in how research investment is allocated and spent. New research projects have been shortened in duration as a result, which has helped improve the timeliness of outputs. CIFR also commenced, with board approval, an internal research model that could complement the external research process. CIFR is typically in the media multiple times each week as we contribute thought leadership, knowledge, policy ideas, commentary and opinion pieces across a spectrum of media channels. We're also making CIFR-funded research more accessible in the form of 3 to 4 minute videos, which have the added advantage of being interactive, short, focused on the key messages and contributions, and convenient for professional people with busy lives. These videos represent material that can easily and effectively be broadcast in classrooms and lecture halls of universities right around the world. I mentioned earlier the importance of translating CIFR's research work to policymakers, regulators and other industry participants. The past 18 months in particular have been quite exciting as they have presented a number of opportunities to contribute to formal government inquiries. CIFR has held major events and made submissions in relation to the Financial System Inquiry, the Competition Review and the Better Tax White Paper. In the case of 2 of these inquiries, CIFR was able to interact with the secretariats undertaking this work. Another area where CIFR has built an enviable reputation is the delivery of high-quality events. Running high-end events requires strategic planning, professionalism, and a focus on the areas in which CIFR can make a contribution significant. We have had the good fortune of enjoying input from very senior industry participants, including CIFR's board members and others in our network, both domestically and internationally, to pull together high-quality, relevant content. We recently ran a very successful event in partnership with UBS on the design and regulation of securities markets, which celebrated the 30-year anniversary of the seminal work of two distinguished US academics, Pete Kyle from Maryland and Larry Gloston from Columbia. Their contributions have been in the market microstructure field, helping us better understand how informed and uninformed traders engage in markets and how prices are set. Our recent events have included the launch of a CIFR-funded paper on competition in financial services and a hedge fund seminar featuring one of the world's foremost authorities in the area, Professor Stephen Brown from NYU Stern. CIFR has a lot it can be proud of. This includes funding a broad array of excellent research projects, regularly engaging financial regulators, government, industry and academics who identify and address important issues, and also promoting the interaction between all these parties, translating and disseminating important research work across a variety of media and events. Our impact can easily be gleaned from the papers and media interest in our researchers' outputs located on CIFR's website. These include areas related to superannuation, competition policy, RMB internationalisation, digital financial services and mobile money, portfolio disclosure regimes, capital requirements in banking, regulatory analytics and data architecture, long-term investing and many others. CIFR was established with funding for an initial 4-year term. CIFR's board recently approved an extension of CIFR's operations for a further year, utilising existing money. We have always been aware that securing funding for a second term would be challenging, particularly given that government budgets are in deficit and the spending cuts and efficiency dividend requirements that are being applied to the financial regulators' budgets. That said, I've always believed that if CIFR could build a reputation for delivering valuable and relevant financial industry research, genuinely policy-focused and applied, and delivered in a reliable, cost-effective and timely manner, then government would see the enormous benefit that a centre such as ours can have in contributing to society. In building such a reputation, it was always imperative that CIFR executed its vision and mission in a professional, well-governed and high-quality manner. Being able to clearly demonstrate value from the investment of scarce public funding is extremely important. And that's why we've sought to engage our researchers so proactively, work closely with them, support their endeavours in ways that leverage every part of the research production and dissemination process. So, what does the future for CIFR look like? Well, I'm optimistic. We still need to focus on the mission at hand to harvest the research we have already commissioned thus far. Completing our mission successfully is surely the best way of building a case for further funding. CIFR's sustainability has been a major focus at many board meetings during my time at CIFR. These discussions have helped highlight what CIFR can do better, areas where we have an opportunity to further engage our stakeholders, and how CIFR could operate more collaboratively across our network. I'm confident that CIFR has already shown promise of what is possible beyond 2016, but at the end of the day, we must complete our mission and demonstrate genuine value for stakeholders. I look forward to communicating further news as CIFR moves towards the achievement of these objectives.